Patricia and welcome to my channel. Today I have a very special guest. This is my mom, Maria.
Sí, mucho gusto. Buenos días o buenas tardes. Yo soy la señora María Cepeda, la mamá de esta hermosura.
For those of you who don't speak Spanish, she was saying good morning or good afternoon depending on what time it is for you, and that she's my mom, and she said I was beautiful. So what do you think of that? But I look like my mom, so what do y'all think? Just leave a comment down below.
Mamá cuervo.
There you go. Okay, so today we are going to be doing a very traditional type of meal, especially where we're from here in the Rio Grande Valley here in Texas, but it's pretty much done in almost every Latin culture, especially those that practice Lent. We don't really practice it, but we still enjoy having this particular dessert, and it is called Capirotada. Capirotada just means it is a mixture of things. In Spanish, it is pretty much a recipe that started in Spain, but it has pretty much spread out over Latin America and of course here in the US. So my mom is going to make her version. Mom, ¿qué es lo que le pone a su capirotada?
Bueno, pan tostado, té de piloncillo con canela, o puede ser azúcar morena en lugar de piloncillo. También le agrego cacahuates, le agrego pasas y queso fresco, y al pan le pongo mantequilla de cacahuate a una tanda que se le pone primero, y luego a la segunda tanda le pongo mantequilla o margarina.
Okay. All right, so basically what my mom just finished saying is that she uses a very toasty bread to create the capirotada, or the bread pudding, which is kind of called a bread pudding for those of you who don't know Spanish. She uses piloncillo, which is a Mexican brown sugar, or you can just use regular brown sugar. Just make sure you use a dark one, the one with a more mapley kind of flavor to it. She uses peanuts, she uses raisins, peanut butter, and some butter, and cinnamon. I think I mentioned everything, but we're going to show you the ingredients, okay? So whatever my mom says, I will translate it for you in English. So just be a little patient. She does know English, she does understand it, but she's more comfortable speaking in Spanish for now. Okay, so let's get all the ingredients together so we can show you, we can get started on this, and let's get to cooking. Okay, so we have set up all the ingredients here. There's one thing that I don't think I mentioned, my mom did, is queso fresco, which is this one right here that we're going to be using. It is a fresh Mexican cheese. You can use pretty much any cheese you want to use. You can switch around some of these ingredients, but yeah, you can use American cheese, she just said, which is something that my grandmother would actually sometimes do it that way, but this is the way my mom does it. And usually sometimes what we do is we get the bread and we slice it up and toast it in the oven, but she's already brought some that's already toasted. This particular bread is made from a bolillo, which is a small, kind of like a French bread, a Mexican bread. It's called a bolillo, which means just white, is what it means. And she's already bought it already toasted. It's already been sliced, but you can use a French loaf if you want to use, and slice it up, toast it up. Just make sure that your bread is very toasty and very dry, because it is going to absorb a lot of liquid, and you don't want to use a fresh bread because then it's just going to get all mushy, and you don't want that. So that would be your first thing, is to slice up some bread, toast it up, dry it overnight, or put it in the oven, whatever you want to do to it, or buy it already toasted like my mom has. Okay, so we're going to be using this large, this is a 9 by 11 I think, or 8 by 11 big dish. I think it's actually by 12 inches. It's really big. But that all depends. If you're just going to make a small portion, do half of what we're doing, use a smaller pan. Okay, this is she's saying, she's correcting me, it's an 8-inch like that, okay? But it's probably about 12 or something. Okay, so my mom wants me to also make sure that I tell you that you also have to make what is the cinnamon tea. So we have a large pan with about a gallon of water in there, okay? ¿Y qué vamos a hacer, mamá?
Vamos a agregarle el piloncillo y la canela en barritas.
Okay, so we're going to add todo esto?
No, una y media.
Okay, so we're going to use, for this particular quantity, I'm going to get a big, I'm going to use a nice big thick chunky, and this is Mexican cinnamon, and you kind of want to use this one because it's got all these little flakes in there, but it packs a lot of flavor between all those. Or you can use the Indian one. we're going to use this and a half of another is what she's saying. So we're going to put this and we're going to let this steep or boil for quite a while. And we're using this panela or piloncillo, which is the brown sugar that we're going to use. And we also want to have it in there because we need for it to start breaking up. If you want to break it on your wooden counter or something first into just big chunks and throw it in there, that would actually help. Okay, vamos a ver los dos? Sí. Okay, so we're going to use 2 of these. Now, if you don't find this, you can use dark brown sugar.
Como 2 tazas y media.
Like
Dos
2
tazas.
2 cups or so, like that, okay? So for this particular amount that we're making, okay? So we're going to go ahead and, ¿ya los evento en la agua? Okay. I have to open this one up, but we're going to be putting those in the oven, and I got to get half of the cinnamon stick. Okay, so that's the first step. Get your bread toasted. And let's make our piloncillo and cinnamon tea. And we'll be back once we have that ready so we can build our capirotada. All right, so I had thrown the piloncillo into the water, but my mom said we have to break it up, which I didn't do. You can either put it in the water and let it boil and then break it up in there, but it takes a little bit longer. So to speed up the process, what she's done is we're taking this rolling pin and a knife, and what you do is you get the whole piloncillo like that. Once you have the whole piece like that, you just hammer into it and it breaks up the chunks. And if you want them smaller, just like that, okay? It doesn't take too much to break it up. So now that they're in a little bit smaller pieces, we can then put them in the water and it'll dissolve a lot faster. All right, everyone, it has taken about 10 minutes for the piloncillo, the sugar, to dissolve. Of course, if you're using brown sugar, it's already broken apart. It's not going to take that long, but the piloncillo, because it's hard and it's put together, compressed together, we need for it to be in the water a little bit longer. Not only that, but we want to get all the flavor from the cinnamon. So my mom said 10-15 minutes of boiling time. All right, so we're starting to prepare a layer already. What she's doing is she's just spreading some peanut butter on our little pieces of toast bread, and you want to have little pieces like this. So if you have a larger piece, cut it up, into something like this. Just because when you're serving it, it's easier to cut into it. But she says it doesn't really matter. You can actually cut into it. Okay, so what I'm also doing is I've taken the queso fresco and I'm crumbling it up. So this is going to take a little while to crumble the whole thing up. So that's why we decided to go ahead and get going on this. And she's doing that first layer with the peanut butter, and then she'll add some of this queso fresco. And of course we have the raisins and our peanuts here on the side, and we'll use those as well. And I like to put peanut butter on every one of my layers, so that's up to you. My mom says she's only going to do it on the very bottom layer, and then she's going to do the rest of them with butter. ¿Algo más que quería decir? ¿Algo que los ingredientes, mami? ¿Ah? ¿Algo de los ingredientes?
No, que hay unas personas que en lugar de canela ponen anís.
Okay, so basically she's saying if you, instead of using cinnamon for your tea, you can use anise. So you can make anise tea with the sugar, and that's just a different flavor if you prefer that. You want to try it that way. You can use star anise or just a little regular anise seeds to make your tea.
Yes.
And of course, everyone's going to make their capirotada different from us. Ours is very simple, very little bit of ingredients, so we don't really spend a lot on it. My mom doesn't spend a lot of money on hers, but if you're going to add more stuff, you're going to obviously spend more. So Mom, what are some of the examples of other ingredients that people use?
Pues hay personas que le ponen plátano o manzana en rajitas, le ponen nuez, que ese sí me gustaría, pero no traje. No, también. Okay. Es cuestión de dónde la gente venga, de qué país o de qué estado. Por ejemplo, de México lo hacen diferente. Este es de la frontera de México con Texas. Es la manera que lo hacen.
Okay, so I'm going to translate what she just said. So I was asking her what other ingredients you can use, and she was naming a couple of ingredients. You can use apples, bananas. It all depends on what obviously your taste buds are, what you want to add into it. If you want to experiment, I would say try it with little sliced apples, little small sliced pieces of apple, add it in there, and maybe add into half of this, as she was saying. So people here do add a lot of banana into them, so if you like that, try with some banana. But she did say that it varies depending on not only the country, but even just in Mexico, the way people make their capirotada is quite different. And she's basically doing it the way they do it by the border, Mexico and the Mexican border with Texas. This is one of the ways that it's prepared, but it has now become very, very diverse, and pretty much anything you want to put into it, that is why it's called Capirotada, because it is a blend of different things. So if you have a different way of preparing yours, if you do make Capirotada, why don't you go ahead and leave a comment down below and let us know what you put into it. Or you can also follow my Facebook page, Trisha's Creations. And if you want to put a picture of your capirotada with your recipe on there, you are more than welcome to do so. So make sure that you like the page and follow it so that you're able to comment. Okay, so I've got the cheese already done here. This is a layer of bread with peanut butter on it. And my mom's already preparing lots of bread here with butter. Okay, so she's gonna add the crumbled cheese.
Se distribuye todo alrededor del pan.
And this is about like 2 cups of crumbled up cheese.
Sí, yo le pongo bastante, como la mitad del queso, porque van a ser dos
capas.
Dos capas.
Okay, so she's saying
de aquí se le agrega el cacahuate o la.
Okay, let me clean my hands because I have lots of cheese on my hands.
Esto está al gusto, le pueden poner poquito, le pueden poner mucho. A mí me gusta poner mucho.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, my mom just finished saying that you can add whatever amount you want, but it's up to you how you like. If you don't like peanuts, but you like pecans, ¿verdad?
También.
Nuez, o quiera walnut.
Sí,
walnuts.
Nuez. O le puedes agregar las dos cosas.
Bueno, cuando dice nuez, ¿qué quiere decir? ¿Pecans o qué?
Pecans.
Okay, she's saying that pecans would be great. I do have pecans actually. I actually have walnuts and almonds too. If you want to add your favorite nut in there, go right ahead. And just add whatever amount you want to add. We're doing 2 layers, so she's doing half of the cheese first, and then we'll use the other half on the next time, on top of the other layer. I do want to say that if you want to use a yellow cheese, which is little squares of American cheese, just, cut them in half if you want, or just layer one, on there. Just make a little layer instead of this cheese. I know that some people even use mozzarella cheese, which is perfectly fine, whatever you want to use. Okay, so now she's added raisins and peanuts and the cheese on the one layer. So she's now putting the buttered toast on it. Now I will say that I like to put, and I know that my mom's done it before this way also, but my grandmother also used to do it this way. I like to put the raisins in here into the pan because they boil and they get all nice and plump and juicy. But it's still going to happen when you put them in here and then we put it in the oven. Okay, so it doesn't matter how you do it. It's a capirotada. Okay, she's telling me get to work. There we go. Ponte a trabajar. Okay. So now we put that, and as you can see, this is very easy preparation. I was going to butter, but she's doing it so quickly. It took me forever to crumble up that cheese. You can find the queso fresco sometimes already crumbled in packages, but we like to crumble it like this because it's so much more moist. It's nicer. But in this case, for the capirotada, if you wanted to do that, that's fine because, like I said, we're going to add that cinnamon tea, and that's going to add lots of liquid. Okay, and I think I mentioned that your bread should be really, really toasty, really crunchy and toasty. Like, listen, hear that?
Cuando van a meterlo al oven, también que le pongan un follo un poquito más grande.
Okay, abajo?
Sí, abajo.
Okay, so when you put it in the oven, you can put a tray underneath it that's bigger than your pan, or a foil that wraps up around it, because all that boiling will cause some of that liquid to spill out. So you want to make sure you do put something underneath to protect your oven.
O también le puedes poner pero también se puede tirar uno arriba.
Yeah, you can also put one on top, an extra one on top.
Y ya cuando pasen unos 20 minutos lo puedes quitar para que se haga poquito.
Okay, so she's saying you cover it also, aside from putting something under it, you cover it with some foil, put it in the oven, ¿a qué temperatura?
350.
Just a regular oven temperature, which is 350 Fahrenheit or 160 Celsius, I believe. But you can put it in the oven, cover it for 20 minutes, and then uncover it because you want it all to get all like moist and hot and all those liquids and everything to flavor up the bread, right? But then you can uncover because then you want the top of it to get toasty, and that is what gives it such a wonderful texture. So you want to make sure you do that. ¿Y por como cuántos minutos?
Aproximadamente unos 20-30 minutos.
¿Todo junto o más?
¿Cómo es tú?
Bueno, 20 minutos primero tapado y luego destapado.
Sí, 20 minutos tapado y luego los tapas unos 10 minutos.
Okay, so she's saying about 30 minutes is the total time. So 20 minutes covered and then 10 minutes uncovered. Okay? We're not cooking any of this. We're just getting all the flavors to marry each other and get that bread all. Also, just putting all the little crumbs in there. We're not gonna waste anything here. So now I'm adding all this cheese and making sure that I get it in every little corner, everywhere. And then vamos a poner más pasas y and we're gonna add more nuts and more raisins. Mami, ¿qué tal si un día lo hacemos con raisins, con cranberries? ¿Qué crees?
También se le puede poner, ¿ya?
So I was just thinking maybe we made it with raisins, and she's saying, why not? Yeah, why not?
Vamos a hacer una mitad.
Well, we can do half and half, that's what she's saying. Now, I want to make it really clear because you guys know that I'm on keto. This is not keto friendly at all. Okay? Because of the bread. Everything else is fine. But I just wanted to have this video with my mom. I do have a Capirotada video somewhere in my playlist, or I don't have it in the playlist. I just have it on my channel. I do have a Capirotada video that I don't know how long ago I made it. I can't even recall. It could have been 3-4 years ago for all I know. But I wanted my mom to be in one of my videos. My mom, by the way, she's a great seamstress. She can sew anything, do anything. And I'm not advertising because she ain't waiting for you to call her. She's not working anymore. I want her to retire. But she's very talented. She can make anything even just from a picture. She's got a lot of work, she says. She doesn't need
Ahora
extra.
se le va a agregar el té.
Okay, so now, Mom, should we get a ladle o algo así para... Así con una tacita así, para echarme por
Con
arriba?
la taza de la otra de café, ¿no?
Oh, coffee cup? Okay. So you can use a ladle, or you can use a coffee cup. My mom's comfortable using a coffee cup, so I'm gonna have her use that. Okay. We shall be back. Alright, so I was saying before that the reason that I wanted to do this video is because I actually just wanted my mom to be in the video. It's just an excuse to get her over here and be in it. Okay, so now that we've got all this, we're gonna go ahead and pour our cinnamon and sugar, the piloncillo, water all over it. And all these little, if you're using the cinnamon sticks, you want to dig those out. Okay, so dig those out and just put them aside. I actually put some napkins here to do that. We're gonna throw them in there. Yeah, and if it just falls in there, you can just pull it out like she said. Okay, mami, vamos a ponerle el juguito. Closer, like that. Okay. Just make sure you soak everything. Okay, so I was asking my mom, like, how much time? She said she would have had this already in the oven. It would be already in there. But we're doing the video, so it's taking us a little longer, almost an hour to be doing this. But if you're going to toast your bread, it just depends on how long you're going to be toasting it with. If you put it in the oven, it can maybe you can toast your bread in 20 minutes in an oven, in a nice hot oven. Or if you're going to be doing it on a toaster, she was saying as soon as some bread pops up, start putting some peanut butter on it. Do your layers and then do another layer with butter while the tea is boiling on the side of the stove, which is 10 to 15 minutes. So hopefully with the 30 minutes total of baking, this can be done in under an hour or less, because my mom already toasted her bread. Sorry, Mama, I almost burned my mom. This can be done with already pre-toasted bread. You know, if you buy the bag already with a baguette that's already toasted. Also, you can use a baguette or French bread, whatever bread you want to use. I mean, if you want to use some fancy brioche, go for it. Why not? That's awesome, like in bread pudding, so this would be perfect for this. Look at this, guys. This is completely filling up a pan. It's in here. Can you see that? It's not very far down already. So this is getting up to the top, and I'm actually going to push some of the bread down, just a little bit like that, just to make sure it's all nice and coated. There we go. Okay, so this is ready for the oven, you guys. So this should be ready in 30 minutes. Again, it is a 350 degree oven, and I think it's already ready for us. Yep, it is about to be done. All right, everyone, it has been 30 minutes and our capirotada is out of the oven. As you can see right here, it smells delicious. It looks delicious. Ahora, ¿qué hacemos, mami?
Bueno, a mí me gusta batirla.
Okay, so what she likes to do is she likes to just mix it all up. So she breaks it up and she just mixes it all up. That way we get the really moist pieces that are on the bottom to kind of blend with the toasty ones on top. That way when you get your serving.
Y hay gente que la deja así.
Yeah, and there's people that leave it like that, like me. I just pull it out as is. You can do it whatever you want, Mom. Oh, and then by the way, you let this completely cool off, and then you can put it in the refrigerator, and it tastes delicious cold. So you can have it either hot or cold. If you want it hot again, just get a little bit, put it in the microwave, serve it up with some coffee.
Dura días en el refrigerador.
¿Cuántos días? Una semana nomás.
No, 1 o 2 semanas.
She said you can have it up to 2 weeks in the fridge if you have to, but you store it nice and make sure it's sealed. But it's probably not even going to last a week. I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
Because every night after dinner, a little dessert. You're going to, oh my God, just have a little raisin. Okay, vamos a probarlo. All right. So we're going to give this a taste. A little bit like that. We're just going to get a little bit because, you know, we're cultured. Let's see.
Estamos en video.
It's for the video. Because if it wasn't, believe me, we'd be having a lot more. All right, Mom. It's hot.
Muy sabroso.
It's very delicious. I actually threw in another stick of cinnamon because I told my mom I like a lot of cinnamon flavor. It has plenty of flavor. I can taste the sugar. It's sweet. And then, let's try the cheese. I didn't try the cheese on there. I love the raisins and the peanuts in here. It gives it such a nice texture. So you're not just having like a squishy bread. I like the queso fresco. Now I like to make it with just plain old American yellow cheese slices. But this is a little more traditional, obviously. But the other way is just the cheapo. I can't find American cheese or the Mexican cheese, I should say. So anyway, salió sabroso, mami. Muchas gracias por haber estado en mi video.
Gracias por invitarme. Muchas gracias por ponernos atención. Y les doy una bendición bien grande para todas las personas que nos estén viendo.
All right, so I was thanking my mom, and she was also wanting to thank everybody who's watching and for giving us your attention for this video, and she also sending everybody lots of blessings. Did I miss anything? No, that's it.
Gracias.
All right, everyone. I'm going to give us a big old thumbs up, so I hope that you too will give us a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There's a red button down there, or you can hit my little icon there in the corner. Okay. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I put up my videos. You need to hit that notification bell because otherwise you won't get told and you're going to have to be searching for it. That's just the way YouTube is working. My mom wanted to say something else.
No, pueden agregarle todavía brown sugar si quieren arriba.
She has just said that if you think this is not going to be sweet enough for you, sprinkle some brown sugar on top. Oh, I'm thinking that if you, yeah, it's very good, by the way. If you're diabetic, if you have problems with sugar, then use your sugar substitute, your Splendas and brown sugar or stevia, whatever sugars you want to use if you can't use. And if you're on keto, maybe you want to use your keto bread, you know, lower carb bread to do this. You're just going to eat a little bit. Of course, if this is before my keto, I would be eating a ton of this. All right, everyone, so as I just explained everything to you all, please share on your social medias. Follow my Facebook page, Trisha's Creations, as I told you earlier. And as always, let's grab a little bit like this and enjoy. This is my mom.
Mucho gusto, soy la señora María Cepeda, madre de esta hermosura.
She just said, for those of you who don't speak Spanish, and my mom's phone just went off.